All right, we're gonna try something a little new here. I've got the camera set up a little differently. I'm gonna actually review some tools that I'm using. So I'll do one at a time. I think you probably saw me in the other video using this new nailer. Uh, it is Ryobi. I know it's like the lowest standardized class of tools you can get. Most of my stuff is DeWalt. I really have DeWalt for, serious construction equipment, and then I use Ego in the yard, and then I've accumulated some Ryobi stuff. Really, just started with a couple small things, and I've begun adding to it because, frankly, um, what you get for the price is pretty incredible. So this is an 18 gauge brad nailer. The model number is P321. Runs on the Adobe or the Ryobi One system. You can see that this is a non-branded Ryobi battery. Got off of Amazon. It works. That's about all I know. It's worked fine. I've got two of them. Got two of them for probably half of the price of a single 6 amp hour battery. This says it's 6.5 amp hour. I don't know if it actually is, but it lasts well enough to use the air pump that I have, and it's run this gun pretty well. So I've been using this in the cabinet project. Needed it for brad nailing. I'll give a couple examples of it working. It's pretty nice. You can dial up the force of how much it shoots, and then you have a finer grain adjustment on the actual depth over here. And I found that it just works. It works great. For brad nailing, I'll use my left hand, which is not normal here. And of course, you run into the issue that the only issue I've had with it. I don't know why it does this, but occasionally it simply will not go. There, the light came on, so hopefully, yeah, there it goes. So if you've used an air nailer, they are much faster. There's no load time like that at all. You pull the trigger and they shoot. This one, there's a split second where it loads up before it goes. But when you're doing fine work like this, and you're not quickly framing a house or something, it works just fine. And I've been really happy with it, other than the odd sort of shut off scenario, which I assume is just the battery. I assume the battery that I just talked about is just not. Occasionally, it probably sends a signal to the tool that it's dead completely. I don't know if that draw from that pump is just more than what the battery is used to. Batteries have a C rating, which is how fast they can discharge. But anyways, this is not about the battery. Batteries are fine. If you buy cheap batteries, you get cheap results, but they've been good enough. But the gun has been great. Yeah, it's very, very simple to use. The ability to clean jams, I'm really happy with. It opens up very easily to access. You can actually see, it was probably headed towards a jam right there. I've not had it jam ever, but the access here is fantastic. It's just pushing those nails out. I should have opened that first to remove the pressure. Yeah, but the access to clear a jam is great. And no tools required to do that, which is handy. So, I've used other brad nailers, not a ton, but this one has been great. I've been really happy with it, and I think, for doing fine trim work, or potentially even installing baseboard and trim around the house, I think it's going to be just fine for what we need. And price-wise, I think this was $130 or something. The DeWalt version was in the 300s, I believe, for tool only. And to be honest with you, I'm just going to pull my DeWalt. I also have a knockoff battery here. I've had this impact driver for a long time, and I really abuse it. I use it for all the automotive stuff we do. I take lug nuts off with it. It's very powerful. It's great. And it certainly lasted, but when I've used Ryobi tools, they feel as well built as the DeWalt tools. And I think some of that is the Milwaukee Heritage Milwaukee sort of parent company, or there's a broad company that makes rigid Ryobi in Milwaukee. And I think, if you're not using it every day, they're as good as, it's not worth probably a homeowner buying Milwaukee or DeWalt for this kind of thing. And they seem to have, as new technology comes out, they seem to have the earliest tools. So these sort of battery-driven air pump nailers, came out recently, and I'd say this one is as good as any. And it looked, honestly, when I looked at the rigid version in Home Depot, I think it's probably the exact same tool, just packaged a little differently. I bet if you tore into them, you'd find that they're almost exactly the same. Maybe not, but the shape, and there was something about just the design of that metal frame and the pump here made them look almost identical. So very, very happy with it. I'll do some more reviews like this. I'll review some of the other tools I've had for a long time. But this one has been worth the money for sure.